welcome back. In your Do Now, you had to compare two different scholars' work. Now, the scholar who was correct was Freya because she used parentheses to show the correct order. So in our lesson today, you will be working with different expressions that will sometimes use the parentheses and sometimes not. So we're going to be paying attention to that. Go ahead and make sure you have your Google Docs notes ready, or you have paper ready to go to take your notes. Our key point today is about our two-step equations. When translating two-step equations, we can use parentheses to preserve the correct order. Oops, I'm out of space, but that's okay. Give you a second to write that down. So we're going to be using parentheses if we think that the order is going to be messed up if we don't have it. Okay, so I want you to be able to annotate today and then write equations. Let's look at example number 1. Write an equation that represents 12 less than, I have to remember that when it's less than, I subtract what was in front of it, I take away 12. 12 less than something is always minus 12. The quotient, what does the quotient mean? Division. So it's going to be 12 less than a quotient. A quotient is your answer that you get after you divide something. So once I get that answer, then I can subtract 12. Of and, gotta connect those two. What are the two things that I'm going to be dividing? Of n and 8. N divided by 8 is, what did we learn? Is means equals, is 9. So from my annotations, I'm almost ready to write my equation. I know it's going to be 12 less than my answer to my division, and then it'll be equal to 9. So n divided by 8, 12 less than that, minus 12, is 9. Now let's see, do I need some parentheses here? Which step would I do first? Division or subtracting? PEMDAS, D for division would come first. So do I need to add parentheses here to make sure I do it? Not really. I can if you really want to, but I don't need to because I would do that first anyway. So my order would not be messed up. We're not going to worry too much about models in this lesson. For one-step equations, it's awesome. We like models. When it's two-step, it might get a little too confusing, so we're just going to stick with our equations for now. All right. Write an equation that represents the quotient. The quotient again. I'm going to be dividing of, connected to my and. What are the two things I'm dividing? I'm dividing 4.5 and the difference. Oh dear. It doesn't tell me a number. It doesn't tell me a variable. It tells me I'm going to be dividing a difference. So that's a clue right there that I might need some parentheses. So the difference tells me to subtract between a number, that's my variable, and 3/4. Be subtracting is, what does that stand for? Equals 3. So let's see. 4.5 divided by, because my quotient, the difference between n minus 3/4 equals 3. Now let's look if I need a parentheses. Am I finding the quotient of 4.5 and a number? Because which one would I do first? Division. If I was solving this without parentheses, I would do division first. Is that what it's telling me to do, the quotient of 4.5 and a number? No. Because it said the difference, my difference has to be in a parentheses because I don't know what that is until I solve it. So first I need to subtract to find that difference, and then I can divide. 4.5 by whatever I got is 3. So you just showed two examples of when there is a parentheses and when there isn't a parentheses. I want you to look at the difference between the two different problems. There was a quotient of n and 8. That's easy, we can do that. The quotient of 4.5 and the difference. Now that's where the difference or the clue is where we need a parentheses. When it says the difference, the sum, that's when it will give you a clue that you will probably need a parentheses. Okay? I want you to go ahead and try each problem, and then before the exit ticket, I will check back in and go over one more problem with you. Good luck!